Closer? Esta quiere que se acerque.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so when it's finished?
When it's finished, 125. So today we're gonna have a special speaker, okay? So we have Etia Dan with us, and really it's a privilege to have Etia here. It's really a decade in our time. She and her husband, they live in the old city of Jerusalem, and with her husband, they have really built Jerusalem. They have her husband Mati Dan has founded an organization, Ateret Kohanim, that literally buys the houses of non-Jews in Jerusalem, in all the areas, in Silwan, and literally puts Jewish families to live there. So Etia, in her own right, has founded Menifa, which is an organization for youth, and mainly for youth at risk in all of Israel. And she's gonna tell us about all her programs. And I'm gonna leave you with her. Okay, they're operating my mother-in-law today, so I'm gonna run to the hospital. And Etia, thank you so much for being here. Okay. Come.
I can be here.
Do you want to be sitting? Sure. So do me a favor. Just leave it with Mazal afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I think that they can see you here. Okay.
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 Hi.
Thank you, Mama.
Who is Mazal?
Yeah, she can sign. She'll sign. She's better than me.
Yes, I will. No, please come closer. I thought a lot that perhaps you heard me last time, right? Some of you. And I thought
you
that
need more air? Because I have a fan.
I thought that we are going to work together, not me that will talk it, but you and me together. But come here, please, and be with us. And I want to put on the table something that's very important to think about, how we deal with the painful, how we take it to our life as a tool to go on with it. So I can speak about the people that I work with, how we deal it. I can tell you a story, but I want you to tell me, not me to tell you, but together we will do it as how we are going to put a box with tools to each other, to help each other to deal with our painful in life. And all of us has something in life. And I want to put the box here and to take it as something that we will do for each other, not. So I will tell my story too, but I think it's better that I will tell it in the end, not now. What?
She had.
No, you.
No. She had messy history.
Okay, but you too. That's what I want to say, that each of us has their own story, and the painful, it's not about who is more and less, but how we deal with that, what is the tools that we take from it. And I want that we share experience together. That's what I want to do today. We have not so much time, so everybody has some minutes to speak. And if someone doesn't want to speak, it's okay. You don't, there is no pushing. So who wants to continue?
Can you talk about your organization 5 minutes?
Okay, I will, but it's not important, but I will do that. I think that my organization is deal with painful and try to help people to pass the life easier. So we began with youth. We saw that dropped out from school, it's a trigger of it, but something happened before that. So it's more than 60,000 people that we work with in all Israel, and perhaps not only in Israel. It has to be all over because there is divorcing, there is children that there is no family around them. Also, there is abuse, there is sex attack, there is so many cues that it's not about Israel only. But in Israel, there is more than that. There is also terrorism, the security, the Olim Chadashim, it's a problem. There is many problems that you can focus in Israel and said, oh, this is for Israeli subject. I will tell you some if you want, I can, but I think the time that we want to share together will be about giving us a box with tools to help us to deal with painful. What the meaning of that? It's a dialogue with painful. And what we are going to do with that, it's depend what each of us can do. So first of all, I want to hear your name, who you are, but the second thing is to speak about it. And please come close if you can. No?
So I'm gonna start.
Okay. What's your name?
My name is Natalie.
Natalie.
Okay, and in the 1st of February, I lost my father. He died after a long period of illness, and I think I haven't processed yet the fact that he's gone. I do get very sad, but I don't know. I think I haven't yet started.
What did you learn from that?
From
this?
what for
From the
his passing
sadness,
away.
from
or-
yes.
Well, the
Oh.
thing is that I had all the family relying on me, so I didn't have time to. I had to be strong, and maybe that's the reason I didn't process it yet, or I'm in the process. But I am a strong person, so
Okay, so already you have the tool to be strong. It's to help other, and that
Mhm.
to feel that the people depend on me.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you very much. Another.
Yeah.
I know the rabbi for many years,
What's your name?
Zina Abraham.
Okay.
I lived in New York. From New York, I came here. I live here. So we were very much connected with the rabbi and Robinson. And then I have a son who lives here, especially also for me. So I moved here, and he always came to his classes, and Robinson and Rabbi. And he brought a lot of other people talking about them, that they are so important in this place, and they came to live, some of them come and go. So this place should be in heaven, and pray for all of us, and peace in the world, and peace in our country, in Israel, and God should grant us with a good health.
Amen.
Amen. He should be in heaven.
So now begin to speak about one thing that you feel that touch your life with painful, but you, not all the community, but you, what do you feel? Even if it's about the rabbi or something.
I feel very, very connected, because anything sometimes I had here and there, we went to talk to him. He was like a very, very kind of a family. You could talk to him, he will tell you what to do, what to be done. Don't worry about anything. So that's how the time went. So we miss him very much. He was a great man.
So what I hear, perhaps I don't hear you so well, but what I hear that you said, I have someone to take advice from, and now I don't have it. It means someone that I can share something with him, and now I don't have it. So the missing of it, that's what you speak about painful, that you share with us. Thank you. And do you have something to give us as a tool?
That I will think about it, yes.
Okay, we are going to share some minutes. Okay, thank you very much, Zina.
Thank you.
Who else? You?
Hi, me.
Yes. What's your name?
Elena.
Elena.
I don't know, I need to think.
Okay. We know each other.
Something that has happened to me, and what did I
Take for your life as experience that you process, and then it's a tool that make you stronger.
Okay. Well, for me, the end of our relationship for 5 years, that didn't work out at the end. The person that I thought that I was going to marry and didn't happen. And what I did after that is that I stopped fighting the things I cannot control. I just I did what it was in my hands to do, and the rest I leave it to God, because I think it's an illness. It can become an illness to fight something that it's not in your hands. And so when something is beyond your comprehension and beyond your strength, your power, you have to leave it, to give it to someone who's more powerful than you, who knows better what's good for you. So that's what I did, and that's what I try to do. In my daily basics, I do the best I can, the things I can do that are in my capacity, and the things that I cannot control and I can do, I leave it to God.
Wonderful. I think that it's come with about trusting God, but also about how I feel that as a mother, always I felt I want to control my children, that they will be okay. And somehow it's not going on like we want, and we can't control situations. And what Emilia said, that it's a really the most important tool to let go things that we can control, and then it's coming with bitachon, with to understand that God is leading the world, and we need to be with God about that. So I think you share with us something so important that we need to figure out every day, again and again. Thank you very much. So who else? You want to share something? What's your name?
My name is Sarabatia.
Salabati. It's two names? One name?
Yes, one. Sarabatia as Vivian. Together by one family from Europe. It's too suddenly. But the more important is that the information that you have to share. That is because sometimes there is a sad but when you believe, yes, you have the process, time by time. But you need to forget that we have a father, Hashem, always. I did all my family. Sad. I didn't feel alone. What I feel ashamed for. So I try to tell the people when they are confused and they like the last class talking about the body and the soul. Always the soul more important than the body, not the material. The soul. And the connection only with that. If you can if you pray regardless of the people that you pray, you will see what. And then you feel that. Never see what happened because Hashem will. Because I have this in my family. My community.
You don't have a family at home?
It's not easy, but yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us and tell that, because sometimes you don't need words. By seeing you, I can feel that. But you said it. You're shining. Thank you very much. Thank you. No? You don't see? You want to say something? No? Okay. Okay, so I want to collect all the tools together about being important for all the people around you, about being I don't know how to say it in English, but you don't have time for yourself because you need to help other people. That's what I hear. And sometimes it's a good tool. After the Holocaust, I know many people that came from very, very hard time in the Holocaust, but when they began their life after the Holocaust, they didn't have time to think about the Holocaust. My mother, for example, she came from France, she was in the Holocaust. She never had time to process what's happening in the Holocaust because she was raising children, she was dealing with life, all what she came to Israel, she was dealing with that. And she didn't have time to think about the painful that she got, what happened in the Holocaust. And what he said, I'm sorry, Natalie, that sometime it's okay to deal with that we don't have time now to think about something. We will put it in a corner, and after a while we will come back to it and we will face to face, we'll try to understand. Thank you so much. And Zina, you share your painful, and in the opposite way, you are inside the painful of losing the rabbi or losing the great advisor that you have, advisor, like that is said. And somehow it's also a tool to be in the painful thing and not to run away. It's the opposite, but it's in the same time, it's the same. Because both of you agree that there is a painful inside something, but we know how to face it in many ways. Thank you. And all of us, you said such about trusting God, and you that you said the same thing, Emilia, how to trust God, that you can let go something because you understand that you need to go with God's decision, even if you don't understand it. And I think that if I will put all the girls and boys from Menifa, my organization is Menifa, and they will sit with us, they will speak the same way. I want to share with you some story. First, I will share one of my story, my own one. As Vivian said, that we are living in the old city, and I already talked with you about that. I think some of you were in my, so what I think that when my daughter Mevaseret, her name is Mevaseret, she was 13. Till then she was such a beautiful child with a lot of friends, very happy and very talented, really, but she has one thing in her life that she felt like you, that everything needs to be okay and she needs to be the responsible for what happened. And I had a child, I had birth, and I wasn't at home, I was in hospital, and she felt like she's a mother now, she needs to arrange everything, and it's fall down on her like that. She began to lose something about that. And what's happened that in the same time, she walked in the street in the old city. We live in the Christian quarter. She walked to visit me with the little children that we had. I have Aaron was 2 years old, and before that was 5 years old and 7 years old, and she took them to visit me. She was 13, and suddenly a terrorist came and began to shoot everywhere. And she came to the hospital. I can come, but closer, close, come here. And she came to the hospital, and she figured out that 50 people were wounded because of this terrorist. It wasn't true, but that like that people spoke. And she began to feel that she lose all the control, like a child, 13 years old. And at night she was not okay. She had a psychotic
Nightmares.
Anxiety. No, mental problem. Yes, like that. Anxiety. But also she began to shout and said, "What happened? Who will take care?" And she wasn't herself anymore. And from this minute, we have perhaps almost 20 years. She's now 30 years, and she has, again, all those problems didn't stop after that. And I felt like I was his baby. I was hours after my birth. I was very weak. You know, it's not easy to have a baby. But my husband came with her and said, we need to take her to hospital, so psychiatrist at the hospital because she's not okay. And I was thinking, if I wasn't in hospital, I wouldn't take her to an hospital because it's traumatic very much for a little girl like her. But I couldn't do nothing. I have a baby. I couldn't manage everything. So I decided God will take care. But I was with tears, and I was so painful to see what happened. And I knew that it won't be for 1 day or two, because when it began, it began. You can't put it inside after you have a mental problem. And what happened that I need a lot of tools after that, because I understood that my life is changing. This is a mission of my life now, but how can I deal with that? We have 11 children, so it wasn't easy to deal with life and 11 children and this and that. So what happened that my rabbi, like your rabbi, I have also, he came to my house, to my home. He was sitting like that. I was sitting here with my husband, and he was sitting there. He said, why are you crying? What will happen with your tears? Something will happen with that? Are you going to deal with your tears all the time? You have a mission. God decided this is your mission. You don't have another mission now. This is your mission. You need to understand that when you focus about helping your child like that, in this subject, this is the mission. And to be with mercy and pitiful and to feel bad because what happened to my child, I'm a bad mother, I'm a good mother, it won't take you to anywhere. It means if I'm going to a doctor, they will say, you are responsible to what happened with your child. You are a bad mother, like that Freud were speaking in psychology, they are speaking like that. The mom is responsible about everything that happened to the child. So if I'm going to go with that, I won't be okay enough to help her. I will be all the time with myself if I was okay or not, what's happened with that. Perhaps I didn't need to have 11 children. This is a problem. You know, many people can say many things. So what happened with me? I can't help my child after all that. I will fall down and down all the time to think about my painful, not her. Because if I want to help her and I need to be very strong inside and outside. And if you spoke about body and soul, also we need to understand that when something happened to people around us, it's not about, or to us, it's about many things that God wants this soul to pass in this world. It can be many generations, many ways that you need to do tikkun. You know the word tikkun? So I believe that it's not depend only about the mother or the father or the family. It's also something that we need to look and say, good luck, bon voyage, good luck. Have a good trip in your life with this soul that you need to fixing in this life. So we need to help and to be with and to share it, but we can't solve every problem like Emilia, you said. We can't do that. So I felt that this is the first tool I learned from my rabbi that told me don't feel mercy about your child. It's a fight. You need to fight. You need to be a soldier in the mission that God gave you. And that I want to share with you about every problem that we have. My rabbi that told me so, I think it's a good advice to go with in any problem, in any painful too. It's a war. Life, it's a war. And it's meant to fight and not to go inside. It won't make me to be better person if I will have mercy. And somehow in the Christian world, it's like that, to have mercy and chemla, it's another word of mercy. But it's not like that in Judaism. Our nation, in the Yadut, it's not like that. We need to fight and to do the world better. And when I have experience like I had with my child, it's only an example for a fight that we need to do the life better. So that was my first step to understand mental problems. And I began to see that there is no solution in Israel. Also in all the world, there is many programs to take someone to life with mental problems, like House for Life, like, okay, but to be healthy from it, there is no program in Israel and not in the world. I was in Boston, in Harvard. I saw many programs. Most of them are not about rehabilitation. There is few programs that said, okay, let's fight and you will be healthy. Because with mental problem, we don't understand them. We don't really understand why one person will be strong after an experience like that, and the other will fall down and be sick. We don't understand really what the meaning of being healthy in mental problem. Because the psychiatric just give you medication to provide the function, but not to go inside and understand what's going on in the brain and how to fix it.
But that is psychiatric, but the
What?
psychologists go into part of
Okay.
the mental health.
Okay, but they miss
They
something.
need to,
I
they
want
need
to speak about
work
what,
together.
of course, but I want to say something about that, but first you,
I have mental problem.
which
And-
was, okay,
depression.
okay,
and anxiety. And I took medicine. I have my psychiatric, and the psychiatrist gives me the therapy, and that's why I leave Mexico. I get out of Mexico.
it's better like it.
No, I cannot go back to Mexico because I cannot function with the Mexican community.
Yes, I understand that.
So that my solution was getting away from the toxic medication. I cannot leave the medication. I don't want to leave the medication. At the beginning, they told me only the crazy people took medication. Only the crazy people took medicine. Now I have, I don't know, maybe 5 years since I began the process.
5 kids?
No,
5
I have 4
years.
kids also.
Kids.
And I know that if I'm not okay, they're not gonna be okay. When I am bad, they are bad. If I'm not functioning, they are not functioning. If I am not okay, my husband and I will divorce because the mom and the woman is the center of the family. It's all around us. That's the thing. So I need to be okay. So everybody has. I know, I have seen it. So I know that a lot of people think taking medicine or go to the psychiatric, it's only the crazy people, or only if you are crying in the couch, you are in a depression. No, depression can manifest in another certain ways, not just crying all day long.
I agree
you-
with you 100%. It's not what I want to say. You took it to this way and it's come. No, I think medication must be
You need it.
part of all this issue. But if you will read research about that, if you have rehabilitation with it, it's mean normal life. You are working, you are a mom, your life, you come to study, you're doing things. Then this is rehabilitation. This means that as you function is good, the medication will be less. It means you take it, but the influence of the medication is 20% and the rehabilitation is 80%. if I want to say in the opposite way, if you put someone in hospital with medication for all his life with medication, perhaps he can be okay, but it won't be the same if he's going to marry and he has a job and he's working, study, living his life. So what I mean that it's come together, it's all together. Like you said, you need psychology, you need medications, but you need also something else that I feel that in our life, it's important to say that most of the doctors give you medication because they learn how to give it. But few of them have the emunah that life can be changing. My daughter doctor is the head of the hospital in Jerusalem. He's very famous, he's very nice also, but he's not religious, he doesn't have emunah. It's not about observing mitzvot, it's about emunah. He doesn't believe that life will change because he thinks she's very sick because it was when she was very young, 13 years old. After what happened, she was alone for many years. She didn't have friends. She didn't have life. She couldn't study in school. She couldn't do nothing with herself. And it was very hard to be healthy after that. So I decided not to cry and to build a center that, Emilia, you spoke yesterday about it, and to build a center to help those youth, not only girls, but now we did it for girls, and to open this center as a place that rehabilitation, it means that they will study, they will take a medication, they will have many therapies, not only psychological, but also phototherapy, dancing therapy, music therapy, I don't know what, and also psychiatric, and also social worker that will take her out from the center to the community, to the normal community. And to do all of it together will give us the tikva, how do you say tikva? The hope that something will change. And we saw it, so I began because of my daughter, but she was there also, not so long, but till now we have more than 100 girls that came to this place, and all of them are in the community. One is a lawyer, one has a business, with children, with life. And somehow I feel that it's not only about tools of how to give medication, it's also about emunah, that if God gave you the experience, he can take you out from it. And emunah, it's not only to believe in a person, that he has a motivation and he can change his life. It's also something up, more than motivation. It's to pray for something. To have praying, it's mean, please, if it's not in my control, please help me. You are part of it. You can change the world. You can do whatever you want. And I try to understand which tool I learned from it. So one, Emilia already said that I don't have control. I need to believe that God will lead the world, and I need to pray for that. I need to understand that it's not so bad not to have control. It's okay. It's like to swim with the water. You let yourself swimming. You know, on the bag, it's more than everything when you put yourself like that and you don't know where to go. But somehow this is one tool that I learned. The other one is if you are not a mercy person, it means if you don't cry all the time, it's not mean that you don't take your tears and move it to be something like to give a present with tears. It's meant to do something with all the painful that I have as a mother. And I think my daughter understands that. Even sometimes she said, "You're tough. You're a tough mother," because I push things to be. But somehow I feel like I'm one tear in my side. It's mean I'm like a water of tears. I'm not a person. I really feel like that because I need to do that to change the world, but somehow it's a duty. But inside me, there is a lot of painful. It's okay to be together. And this is the last tool I want to say, that sometimes you need to understand that you can have things together, even if it's a dialectical way, that you have something in the opposite and you have to put
Balance.
things that are not. And to the end, I want to say that I learned a lot of Torah in my life. I was teaching a lot in my life. And somehow I want to put the Torah inside life. And I want to share with you that Amaral in Prague was a Talmid Chacham in Prague. And he used to say, he wrote many, many books. You can learn many of them. And one of the books, Netzach Israel, he spoke about how the opposite thing in the world changed the world to be better. And he said the galut, the diaspora, and the geula, it's come together. Without the galut, there is no geula. Without the diaspora, there is no Eretz Israel. And he said, why God sent all Am Israel to all the world? Why? Some of them mixed up with non-Jewish, some of them, why? And somehow it's about, you learn from Vivian Spirot, but he said it's like Kabbalah, not like, let's do it, let's go to diaspora, no. But if we want to understand things that happen, we need to understand that the dark comes with light. And when we were in the diaspora 2000 years, we changed all the world because Jewish people were everywhere. They changed the ignorant nation. They changed the many value were changing. Even the Muslim and the Christian changed because of the Bible, because of us. So diaspora comes with Geula. Of course, the Geula is the best thing, that we will be a nation with our IDF, with our government, with our life, like Jewish life. It's so important that Am Israel can be itself and not to be dependent in Trump or in Macron in France or other, or I don't know. What happened that Ramchal and Amaral, many of the great Talmidei Chachamim spoke a lot about how things come together. And he spoke also about good and bad things. And he said that in the end of the world, in Likrat Mashiach, as long as we will see it, all the good thing will come. But what will happen with the bad part? So it will be so bad that he said, oh, I don't want to change myself to be good, so I will disappear. And he said the bad will disappear because he will understood the bad as a thing. It will understood that if he will stay, he will begin to be good. And that's what I found, that the life that I spend with my children and also with my organization is the same. Is how to take bad things that happen and to change them and to feel how the experience make us to be better all the time. And it's a work, it's a very deep thing that you need to work, and it's a daily work. It's nothing that you can say, okay, I will do it in Shabbat. No, it's everyday thing. And as all of us, some of us, not all, you didn't speak, and you, but we share our painful, and from it, it's come better. It's mean when we have something that we feel that it was like a car accident that happened in my life. My daughter, what she had, it's an accident. And after that, she need to raise herself again. Today, she's going to marry. Those days, she has someone, and I hope so. You need to pray. It's not easy. And then perhaps because of the medication,